What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTP Sports. Phillies, we could take a deep breath now. We could take a little bit of a breath of relief. The Phillies win tonight. The offense showed up tonight. Zack Wheeler was absolutely amazing once again. Tonight, in a game that you desperately needed him to show up and give you length from the starting mound. You needed that so badly from Zack Wheeler. He goes 7 strong innings, around 8-9 strikeouts, only gives up 1 earned run, which was a home run in the 7th inning to Alek Thomas. That was the lone run of the game for the Diamondbacks. Zack Wheeler was really good. He was really good. You get 3 home runs tonight, so the home run ball showed up. You get the Zack Gallen early, and then it looked like through the next few innings, your offense started to dwindle down a little bit until Kyle Schwarber hit a bomb, until Bryce Harper hit a bomb to make it 4-0. And then when the Diamondbacks do get on the board, JT gives you more insurance with a 2-run bomb. So that was really good to see. Bryce and Stock gets an RBI in the 1st inning. Bryce Harper steals home during a JT Realmuto at bat where there is a collision at home plate thanks to a terrible throw by Ketel Marte from second base. So it was a good thing that Moreno was okay, but he did get elbowed in the head there. Nothing malicious. It was just a throw that threw Moreno into Bryce Harper in direction at that point. There was nothing of intent there from Bryce, even though there are some people out there on the social media verse that say Bryce Harper was doing that intentionally. But what are you going to do? Phillies take a 3-2 series lead. They get the win in Arizona, and now they have a 3-2 series lead going back to Philadelphia for Game 6 to be determined on the time. Either going to be 5 o'clock or it's going to be an 8 o'clock game depending on what happens tomorrow in the Game 6 between the Astros and the Rangers. If the Astros win and move on to the World Series, Game 6 is going to be 8 o'clock. If the Rangers win and force a Game 7, it is going to be a 5 o'clock game, like originally it was scheduled to be. So we could take a sigh of relief for tomorrow. No baseball for the Phillies tomorrow. We focus on Eagles tomorrow. So take a deep breath there. Offense showed up today. Zack Wheeler was spectacular, and now it is Aaron Nola's job to do it again and try to get this Phillies team back to the World Series for a 2nd consecutive year on Monday. So, it's so good. Like, it's seriously, you cannot talk enough about how important it was for Zack Wheeler to do that, what he did tonight, on how important that was, because you knew your bullpen was gassed. You knew your bullpen just didn't have any bodies tonight. Barely any bodies. You needed Zack Wheeler to go at least 7. He gave you 7. Around 100 pitches. He did his job. He did his job. And he was really good. He got into some, with the pitch count early on in the game. The Diamondbacks definitely did make him work. He battled through all that adversity. Got better as the game went along. He allows that home run, but no biggie. He retires basically like the next couple of guys on the next few pitches. So it doesn't really matter at that point. He gets you through 7. He gets you through 7, more than a quality start at that point. 7 innings, 1 earned run. Beautiful stuff there from Zack. If you want to look at his exact stat line, 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts on 99 pitches exactly. You cannot stress enough. You cannot stress enough how important this start is from Zack Wheeler. You only have to use 3 bullpen arms, actually, because Serafy Dominguez couldn't get the final out in the 9th inning. But Hoffman, he comes out in the 8th inning in his 4th appearance in the last 5 days. So he looked really good. He looked really good for that appearance. He only allowed 1 hit, 1 strikeout on 12 pitches. He looked really good. Serafy Dominguez, he looked good for the first 2 batters, but then he walked the guy with 2 outs. He allowed a single with 2 outs, and then here comes Matt Strahm to get the final out. Has to strike out Corbin Carroll in the process, so Matt Strahm got the job done. But, yeah, you used guys from the bullpen that haven't been getting that much work. Serafny did pitch yesterday, but he really hasn't been pitching that much in this series. Hoffman really was the only guy that has been used a lot that went tonight. Strahm hasn't been used a lot in this series, so you could use Strahm for a back-to-back game there. You didn't have to use Alvarado. You didn't have to use Craig Kimbrell. You didn't have to use anyone else. So that's really important there. They get their, a day off today. You get a day off tomorrow, so these guys are going to get 2 extra days of rest. So this bullpen is definitely going to be much more rested going into Monday's game. And for what Aaron Nola is going to do on Monday, if he can give you another, quality start there, 6 innings of what he's basically been doing this entire playoff run, your bullpen will still be in pretty good shape. basically for there. Hopefully in this case scenario, that was just the that was just a hiccup from the bullpen in the last 2 games, specifically more on the back of Craig Kimbrell. So we gotta, you get the win here, you get that 3-2 series lead, and now you move on to try to close it out in front of your home crowd, where you have been really good this year in the postseason. And maybe that's what this team needs once again. They were looking to take the series win here in, Arizona. They can't get that fact done. Arizona ties the series. Now you take this last game and salvage the road trip, basically, and you move on to try to take your win the pennant at home again, like you did last year. Let's see if we can do it. I'm sure our confidence levels will probably be better. We're probably back in neutral now instead of in the panic mode. So we'll definitely just see what happens over the next couple of days. I'm sure all of Philadelphia will be confident as we get to the game time on Mondays because we have a 3-2 series lead in the bank. So, you know what I mean? Really good stuff, though. You got the Zack Gallen today. The power showed up again against him, so that was really good. Schwarber with his 5th home run in the series, so he's been on an absolute tear. If the Phillies do end up winning the pennant, do you classify Schwarber getting the NLCS MVP? Who do you give it to? If the Phillies were to win the pennant, who do you get the NLCS MVP to? Do you give it to Kyle Schwarber? Do you get it to Zack Wheeler? That's a really good question. That is a really good question to ask for. But we still got to win the pennant. We shouldn't be asking those questions right now. That is the most important thing. You get this day off tomorrow. Your main guys didn't need to be used today out of the bullpen except for Hoffman, basically. So Alvarado's going to get 2 days off. Kimbrell's going to get 2 days off. Kerkering will get 2 days off. Who else is going to get 2 days off? That probably it'll be good for Hoffman to get a day off. It'll be good for Strom to get a day off regardless. So let's keep it going, boys. Let's keep it going. So if we want to look at the course throughout this game, Phillies got on the board early. Schwarber with the probably the hardest hit of the game, a nice little chopped single up the left field side where no one's at. He gets a nice single there. Bryce Harper gets a nice single of his own up the middle. Then Bryson Stott with 2 outs. Battles in his at-bat, 2-1 count. Even though that doesn't classify as battling, I'm just saying that for the dramatic emphasis. He rips a single in the right field. It scores Schwarber to put the Phillies up 1-0. And then during the JT Realmuto at-bat, Stott tries to steal second base. He would have been thrown out by a mile, but during that throw, Bryce decides to go home. It was a terrible throw by Marte, and Bryce scores because of it. Puts the Phillies up 2-0. Honestly, it could have been 3-0 if JT didn't get robbed at shortstop, but you'll take the 2-0 lead. You'll take the early offense with Zack Wheeler on the bump. Gets into the first inning, walks the first guy, allows a 1-out single, and Corbin Carroll actually makes a mistake in this first inning too, because he manages to get the second base on a ground out by Ketel Marte, but Moreno singles up the middle, and Corbin Carroll second-guessed himself because he probably thought Trey Turner was going to make this play. Trey doesn't. It goes into the outfield, and Corbin Carroll only gets the third because he second-guessed himself. He went back to tag up at second just in case, and he doesn't score on that. And then Zack Wheeler gets out of the inning because he strikes out Christian Walker, and then he manages to get Smith the ground out. Phillies go down 1-2-3 in the second after a Nick Castellanos walk, double play, then a ground out. Zack Wheeler goes 1-2-3 in the second. Phillies 1-2-3 in the third. Bottom of the third for the Diamondbacks, Carroll singles with basically nothing, no harm there for Zack Wheeler. Phillies go 1-2-3 in the fourth, so 3 straight innings for the Phillies of 1-2-3 innings there. Bottom of the fourth, after a 2-out single by Gurriel, Wheeler basically no issues there either. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Phillies offense in the top of the fifth. Bottom of the fifth, a 1-out single, no harm there basically for Wheeler. Then you go into this top of the sixth inning. Third time through the order, Gallen out there. His pitches started to look a little bit off, and Schwarber took advantage of that. 2-0 count to Kyle Schwarber, gets a hanging pitch, and he crushes it. Makes it a 3-0 Phillies lead. And then Bryce Harper, who battles in his at-bat, becomes a 3-2 count. He was down in the count 1-2, works it back to 3-2, fouls off a ball, and then he gets a nice fastball up middle in part of the strike zone, and he crushes it. And he crushes it as well. Makes it a 4-0 Phillies lead there. Alec Bohm then walks. Stott then singles to get 2 runners on but 1 out, and then a classic JT Realmuto situation where he grounds into a double play on the first pitch after Stott and Bohm worked some pretty good at-bats against Gallen there. So, could have had more, but you have a 4-0 lead. Bottom of the sixth inning, Christian Walker does double. with one out. He manages to get to third base on a wild pitch, but then Zack Wheeler gets Smith to strike out, and then he gets Gurriel to fly out. So no harm, no done there by Zack Wheeler. He's through 6 innings scoreless. Phillies don't do anything in the top of the second inning after Marsh gets a single and he steals second base. Schwarber also got intentionally walked, and Turner wasn't able to do anything there with 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th inning, first pitch home run by Alek Thomas. So it becomes a 4-1 game there, and you're thinking to yourself, oh man, is Zack Wheeler starting to lose it a little bit here? No, doesn't lose it. The next 3 batters retires them out with ease. Longoria on the first pitch, Perdomo on 2 pitches, and Carroll on 3 pitches. So he threw, 5 more pitches, 6 more pitches to get the next couple of guys out. So that was probably one of the easier innings for Zack Wheeler in that case, if you're thinking about that entire way. So a good inning there from Zack Wheeler. He goes 7 innings, 1-run baseball. That's more than you can ask for from him. Phillies tag on to the lead in the top of the 8th. Bryce Harper reaches in on a boot by Ketel Marte, so he manages to get the first base. Alec Bohm lines out, Stott strikes out. The Diamondbacks decide to go back to the bullpen to bring in the righty to face JT Realmuto, and JT takes advantage of it on a 1-1 count, finds his pitch, and he hits it into the Diamondbacks bullpen. 2-run shot down the line to give the Phillies a 6-1 lead, and the Phillies didn't look away from there. Hoffman comes out in the 8th, allows a leadoff single, retires the next guys 1-2-3. Phillies go down 1-2-3 in the 9th. And then bottom of the 9th inning, Serafini gets the first 2 guys out, walks Longoria, allows Perdomo to reach in on an infield single because he tried to field a ground ball going back to him, even though he probably should have, because Trey Turner could have made that play. Then Rob Thompson decides to go to the bullpen, brings in Matt Strahm to face Corbin Carroll, and he strikes him out on 6 pitches. Inning over, game over, Phillies win 6-1. You take a 3-2 series lead. So that's the most important thing there. Looking at the lineup today, Kyle Schwarber, fantastic. He was 2 for 4 with a solo shot and a walk. Trey Turner, 0 for 4 today. Bryce Harper, 2 for 4 with a solo shot, a single. He scored 3 runs in this game. So that was a really good game there from Bryce Harper. Alec Bohm goes 0 for 3 with a walk. Bryson Stott goes 2 for 4 with an RBI. We definitely needed that type of game from Stotty. JT goes 1 for 4 with a 2-run shot. Castellanos 0 for 3 with a walk. He did have a couple of nice rips there, just got a little bit of unlucky. Maybe Castellanos needs a little bit of home cooking. Maybe he'll pop off in Citizens Bank Park. Brandon Marsh goes 1 for 4. Rojas goes 1 for 4, so that's back-to-back games with him for a hit, so maybe he's cooking up something. I have no idea. Phillies go 1 for 6 with runners on. They leave 4 runners on base. Looking at the Diamondbacks, they went 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position. They left 9 runners on base. Looking at their lineup, they had 8 hits today. Carroll goes 1 for 4. Marte goes 1 for 4. Moreno goes 1 for 4. Walker goes 1 for 4. Smith 0 for 4. Gurriel 1 for 4. Thomas 1 for 4 with the solo shot. Longoria 0 for 3 with a walk. And then Perdomo goes 2 for 4. So they had their hits in this game. They just didn't string hits together. They would get maybe 1 hit an inning or something like that. They just weren't able to string stuff together, basically. So that basically showed to you how they were going the entire game. That was basically it. They did get 2 hits with runners in scoring position, but they didn't score anything in those situations. Their only run came on that solo shot by Thomas. That really comes back to, Corbin Carroll having that base running blunder in the first inning. So that really helped you in that case. Looking at Zack Gallen today, he went 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, 2 home runs allowed on 93 pitches. So definitely the strikeout numbers are very telling. I don't think he looked terrible in this game. The Phillies eventually got to him later on in the game. They got to him in the first inning. He settled down in the second, third, and the fourth. They got to him in the 5th. They got to him in that, 5th, 6th inning range. So they found a way. They had to use another 4 guys out of their bullpen: Castro, Mantenply, Frias, and the last guy, Kisoni, whatever his name is. And so they had to use another 4 guys there. Phillies struck out 11 for their starting rotation. They walked 2 guys. Phillies had 3 walks today. The Phillies only struck out 5 times today, so that definitely shows you how better their approach was in this game. So if we're looking at, game 6, we know what the pitching matchup is going to be. It's going to be Merrill Kelly against Aaron Nola. It's basically the exact same rematch of game 2. So Aaron Nola back home, Merrill Kelly on the road again. So we'll see what happens. I'm confident now in this Phillies group to get it done in game 6. We'll see. Get a nice day off tomorrow. Focus on the boards. Focus on the Boyds. and then we'll move on. Then we'll move on to Monday. Honestly, it kind of does feel nice to have a day off tomorrow, not having to worry about this team because they have played 3 days in a row. 3 days in a row of stress. So it will be, even though we will be stressing about the Eagles tomorrow. So yeah, that'll be the case. But yeah, good win. Good win. Now it's time to win this pennant in front of your home crowd. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Game 5 is still pending on the time, even though right now they're saying it on NBC Sports Philadelphia. The coverage starts at 4. It's depending on what happens with the Astros and the Rangers. If the Astros win, it's an 8 o'clock game. If the Rangers win, it's a 5 o'clock game. So I would like it to be a 5 o'clock game. So Texas, please try to win that game. So I can at least go to bed early on Monday. So we'll see, man. We'll see. You know, Fat will be the first option out of the pen if Kelly struggles. And that could definitely be, the Diamondbacks definitely will be a little bit desperate with their pitching if Kelly does struggle. Kelly did pitch good in game 2 until the Phillies eventually got to their bullpen. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if he's made for the case of the Diamondbacks in a game that they need to win. We'll see, though. We will see. Citizens Bank Park, it's going to be even louder than ever with a chance to clinch the pennant. Going to be even louder than ever. We'll see if they're made for it. In the first 2 games at home, the Diamondbacks did not look good. So we'll see. We will see. We will see. So yeah, not much else to talk about with this game. We got a lot of our stuff out with the watch party. So yeah, this game definitely did end a lot earlier than the others. So that definitely is a little bit of the benefit. So I can hopefully start editing a little bit earlier and end a little bit earlier than I did last night. So that hopefully is the benefit there. But then of course with the Eagles playing the Sunday night game tomorrow, that game's not going to end until midnight because of, nationally televised broadcast. So that's going to suck. That's going to suck. That is going to suck. But we do have a voicemail here on the Anytime hotline. So let's go to Sean right here. You can, if you want to leave a voicemail or a text message, you can leave it at the number below on your screen, 215-839-9885. Your thoughts and opinions on anything Philadelphia sports related or anything on this Phillies playoff series and playoff run. But let's go to Sean and get his thoughts about this game.
First off, I got to give a shout out to my man Natural Born Thriller in the comments. He asked me to do one of these post-game calls because he seems to appreciate it. And since no one else calls this damn show, thank you, Natural, for your appreciation. Now, as for the game, look, what did we need to see from the Phillies to win tonight? You needed all the big guys to be present and accounted for, and you pretty much got that. Solid pitching from Zack Wheeler, Kyle Schwarber with the home run, Bryce Harper with a homer, JT with a homer. Everybody stood up and was accounted for. To use some boxing references, Game 3, they were knocked down. Game 4, the referee administered the standing 8 count. The 3 knockdown rule was in effect coming into tonight. And the Phillies got up off the deck and threw a haymaker of their own. To be honest with you, and I hate to put the cart before the horse, I think the Phillies win it Monday night. I think they took the best that Arizona can offer, and I think the Phillies wrap it up. So all the panic that was in the air last night, in the words of Aaron Rodgers, everybody relax. I think we got this. Go Texas tomorrow. Let's extend that series. But I think the Phillies are going to the World Series after Monday night.
I hope that's the case, Sean. I hope that's the case. I'm also confident in that fact, too. I'm confident in Aaron Nola. I'm confident in these bats at Citizens Bank Park. I'm confident this crowd, they're going to give them the jump that this team needs, especially in a game where they can clinch the pennant. So, yeah, I'm very confident in that fact. I'm sure all the Delaware Valley is breathing a sigh of relief that they got that win. They got the 3-2 series lead coming back home. That's the most important thing they could have done. So, yeah, they got that situation done, and now they have an off day tomorrow where they can rest a lot of their arms in the bullpen, and you can move on to Game 6 on Monday. Yeah, I do hope Texas wins tomorrow as well so we can get a 5 o'clock start. That would be nice. That would be nice in my honest opinion. That would be very nice. That would be very, 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 very nice. Very nice. Ah, man. What a day. What a day. I'll get these some of you guys in the chat here before we end it off. Channel name, how you doing? Let's go Squadron. David, how you doing? The negativity has no place here. Yeah, I think it was in the fields yesterday. They got the win today. I think everyone's going to be confident again. If we get Nola the last several starts after a Wheeler win, Monday may be a blessing of the night. I'm sure it will be. Sorry about the Flyers. I don't care that they lost. They played a hard-fought game. That's all that matters. I'm not, overly concerned about them winning or losing games. I don't expect them to do much this year. They're in a rebuilding mode. So if they play a game they lose and they show up and they play hard, that's the most important thing they can do, right? That's the most important thing they can do, right? I believe it is. So they lose an OT. They came back down from 4-2. They scored 3 shorties. So that's more than I can ask for. I want to go to bed at a decent hour on Monday. Worried about the bullpen moving forward. I think this was more on the line of, because there have been arms that still have looked really good. Hoffman has looked really good. Strom has looked good. Seraphany, I know he had his hiccup today. Seraphany has been okay. Alvarado has still looked good. I think yesterday was just the fact that him being overused. It was really just Kimbrel and Kerkering that were the true problem. That was basically it. It was really just Kimbrel and Kerkering. That was it. That was it. And also if you want to throw Soto in there. But I think if you get a day off, Kimbrel will have 2 days off here. Alvarado will have 2 days of rest. Some of the other guys will have 2 days of rest. So I think you'll be perfectly fine going into Game 6 with the bullpen. I think it was just their uh-oh moment. It was just their uh-oh. They were due to have a little bit of an uh-oh after how really good they have been basically the entire run so far. I think they were just due for it. Just keep Kimbrel out of the game and we should be okay. Do you think Suarez needs to move to the bullpen? Suarez will be available in the bullpen when he is available for it. He'll still start his games. It'll basically be like last year. They said Ranger was available in the bullpen today. Honestly, he might not be on Tuesday just in the case of a Game 7. But if the Phillies are winning in the situation and they really need to put Ranger out there, who knows? Like they did for Game 6 against or Game 5 against the Padres. There could be a situation, but I don't think they're going to need Ranger on Monday, so we'll see. Yeah, no panic. The Gas House Phillies are back. Schwarber bombs away. Rob Thompson gets the MVP today. He didn't force Kimbrel upon us. Yeah, Rob did what he had to do. He trusted his starter. He trusted Wheeler, and that was the most he could have done. Glad we won, but the umpiring continues to be dog shit. Well, you should be expecting that, Dominic. You should be expecting that. They should leave Kimbrel in Arizona. Oh, Stacy, how you doing? Castellanos really worried about? Yeah, he's definitely... It feels like he only goes off on teams that he has a vendetta against. So, say the Phillies win Monday, they go to the World Series and they play the Astros. Does Castellanos go off because he has a vendetta against the Astros for losing the World Series last year? That could be a case. That could be the case. Who knows? Maybe Castellanos just feasted at Citizens Bank Park. Maybe that's the case as well. He got a couple of nice rips in today's game. Just got a little bit unlucky in a ballpark where the ball really doesn't carry. So, hello, Mola Petition for Alvarado. How you doing? 2 chances to win, 1, both at home. Series ends Monday. Team knows what's at stake exactly. Hope Arcia is choking on the popcorn right now on the couch. Arizona's rotation is interesting. They're all soft tossers. They got some good top guys there. Biggest question of the night, you have any chocolate cake left? I do. I didn't finish this piece that I brought up. I still have like half the piece left. I'll finish it after when I'm editing. Don't worry about Harris in the chat. He's just a troll. He's just a troll. That's all. I appreciate him for joining the streams as always and being a subscriber, but he's just a troll. He's just a troll. leave Orion off the World Series roster? Who knows? Who knows? Personally, yeah, I don't think he should be. I just don't think he's made for it right now. He's got really good stuff there. I just think he's not made for it, man. Just think he's not made for it. Yeah, I think that's where we leave it off here, boys. I think that's where we leave it off. I don't think there's anything here on Twitter right now. Don't think there's anything here on Twitter right now. Trying to see if there's anything here from Rob Thompson or something like that. Don't think there is. I don't think there is. Let me see. Nope. 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 Don't see anything here on Twitter in terms of Rob Thompson comments or anything like that. So, that's basically gonna do it for tonight, boys. That's gonna do it for tonight. Any Rhys progress reports? If the Phillies make the World Series, I wouldn't be shocked if Rhys is on the roster. He'll probably just be a bench guy. That's probably it. I'm assuming he's still down in Clearwater. Who knows? He might come back to celebrate the pennant if that's the case. Let's see. Houston has won 20 of 22 on the road in the playoffs. That's nuts. Yeah, they've been... For some reason, Houston is a way better road team than they are at home. It does not make sense. It does not make sense. I have no idea why. It doesn't make sense at the case. Their ballpark is a hitter's factory, so I don't know why they struggle there. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Good teams win on the road. Good teams win on the road. I guess that's what you say. They won 2 games at Citizens Bank Park last year, so they know how to win on the road. That's all you could say. But that's another topic for another day. So we'll move on for there. But that's going to do it for tonight, everybody. I appreciate all of you here for joining the watch party as always, for joining the recaps as always. I love every single one of you guys, even the guys that are the trolls. We'll have Eagles recap tomorrow night after that game, even though for how fucking late that's going to be. So that's going to be a pain. And then we'll have, watch party again on Monday, depending on the time of the game. Recaps and all that stuff. So, yeah. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. New to the channel. Join up, boys. Fun times here. Definitely hit that subscribe button and also use the code TTPSPORTS. $20 off your first purchase at SEATGEEK. Great deal. Do not pass it up. Love every single one of you that joins the stream, boys. We'll see what happens. Go Birds tomorrow. And we'll see what happens on Monday, boys.